Guys, hi, how are you? Zoran did a great interview on CNN. He's been making the rounds, doing incredible interviews. But in this one, I think it's really important because he really talks about democratic socialism and what socialism is. Socialism, boo! Which is also a Zoran thing. That's what he said a long time ago. Like in the beginning of running, he goes not Zoran. He goes socialism, and a lot of people have this weird misunderstanding of what socialism is because of the first and second Red Scare and now the third fucking Red Scare. And, Trump and the Republicans, they're always throwing around words like Marxist, Leninist, communist, radical leftist. They don't know what any of those things mean, which makes it even fucking funnier. But we're going to just listen to it coming out of Zoran's mouth. I mean, Zoran is the nominee for the Democratic Party for the mayoral race in New York City. He is a self-proclaimed socialist. It's not like he's been labeled as it. He is a socialist. And I am a socialist if you're new here. But let's just dive into it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It costs you nothing and it helps me immensely. Also, remember, this is real independent media. I have no funding, so if you do want to support the channel financially, feel free to become a member, become a patron, buy merch, donate to the channel, and use that discount code for Ground News located in the description below. All of that goes a long way. Thank you for 72,000 subs. And without further ado, let's listen to Zoran Mom Daddy.
Out front now, New York State Assemblyman and presumptive Democratic nominee for mayor of New York, Zoran Mamdani. And so much appreciate your time. A whirlwind week for you. I think to put it lightly. Okay, so everyone else is putting their view on this, of what this means. Okay, your victory. What do you think it means?
I think it means that we are ready in the most expensive city in the United States to have 5 boroughs that New Yorkers can actually afford. And this entire race.
5 boroughs, 5 pillars of Islam. Coincidence? I don't think so. Mashallah, my brother. We will reinstate the Islamic Caliphate of New York City. Alhamdulillah. In a matter of weeks, we will be having everyone in burqas running for their lives to New Jersey. That is a joke. Unironically, though, a lot of the Republicans have been posting insane things. They genuinely think that there's going to be morning prayer blasted from the Empire State Building. Like, it's fucking insane.
Was about the question of affordability. And ultimately, I have run a campaign that speaks about the tools that city government actually has to deliver that affordability in the wealthiest city in the wealthiest country in the world. And it's time that we have a mayoral administration that follows through and actually delivers that.
All right, so I want to talk about some of that, but first the breaking news. Isaac DeVere is reporting that Andrew Cuomo is not dropping out of the general election race, right? And it's kind of willery-woney, but the deadline...
That's the thing, man. Andrew Cuomo is probably going to run regardless. He's going to run as like a fucking independent. Also, I want to point out something before we keep on watching this interview. Has anybody seen Andy Ogles' tweet about Zoran? Andy Ogles, Zoran tweet, Little Muhammad. He called him Little Muhammad, bro. It's insane. Look at this. There's a bunch of them. He keeps on calling him, but Andy Ogles, if you recognize that name, is the same fucking guy that proposed a amendment to let Trump run a 3rd term. Zoran, quote, Little Muhammad Mamdani just dropped this rap a year before becoming a U.S. citizen. In it says he loves 5 men and were convicted of funneling 12. Dude, this guy's fucking, he's absolutely nuts. Andy Ogles, Little Muhammad. He also, look at this. Zoran Little Muhammad Mamdani is an anti-Semitic socialist communist who will destroy the great city of New York. He needs to be deported, which is why I'm calling for him to be subject to denaturalization proceedings. Attaches my letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi. And the thing is, they're genuinely going for it. And the reason why they can is the Anti-Communist Act of 1954, or is it 51? Yeah, 54. Communist Control Act of 1954. It's an American law signed by President Dwight Eisenhower that outlawed the Communist Party USA and criminalized memberships in and or support for the Communist Action Organization. Now, here's the thing. They are going to run with the whole all socialists are communists. There's a reason why we've been hearing that propaganda in our chat for so long. Like I say, I'm a socialist. They go, that's communist. That is what the American State Department wants you to believe. That way they can start deporting and getting rid of anybody who labels himself as a socialist. Now, here's the thing. I'm actually a registered card-carrying member of the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America. It's a list that you can access. So this is incredibly horrifying times.
Tomorrow. Is this a surprise to you?
Ultimately, Andrew's decision or my decision matters less than the decision that voters already took on Tuesday night, where we won from Bay Ridge to Dyker Heights to Harlem to Washington Heights. We saw a mandate delivered for a new generation of leadership. And I am so proud and excited to continue to build on that mandate with an ever-expanding coalition, one that has now included the endorsements of Congressman Jerry Nadler, of State Senator Brad Hoylman-Siegel, and Manhattan Borough President, soon-to-be Controller, Mark Levine. And ultimately, that is a coalition that will continue to expand through November.
Right, so you're saying no matter what, I mean, if Andrew Cuomo's in, it's not like a redo where you're worried?
No, not at all.
Andrew Cuomo will be like, I am white, I am black, I am gay, I am lesbian, I am Muslim, I am Jewish, I am Andrew Cuomo.
We did it once, and it turned out pretty well.
All right, so now can we talk about the policy? The policy is what stood out to a lot of people. But right, I said the freezing rents on half of the apartments, free bus service, the free childcare, and the city-run grocery stores. How do you pay for that?
Let's go through
Real quick, he's nicer than me. He goes, let's go through it. I love him. He's nicer than me. But I want to point something out. Why is it that when we're talking, every fucking time somebody talks about making, I don't know, affordable childcare or increasing the minimum wage or affordable housing, every time somebody brings that shit up, no matter what platform they're on, they go, how you gonna pay for that? How you gonna pay for that? Meanwhile, Trump says, we're launching 18 B-2 bombers and 24 Tomahawk missiles from a nuclear submarine. We're blowing up Iran. No mention. No question. How you gonna pay for it? They never ask. They never ask. Oh, jeez.
People, but right, I said the freezing rents on half of the apartments, free bus service, the free childcare, and the city-run grocery stores. How do you pay for that?
Let's go through it. So for the first thing, freezing the rent, that's not something that requires any fiscal output from the city. It's something that's determined by the Rent Guidelines Board, composed of 9 members. The mayor picks each of those members. They determine each year whether rents rise or whether they stay the same. The previous mayoral administration froze the rent 3 times, so this has clear historical precedent. When it comes to city-run grocery...
Even Adams, you're saying Adams.
No, this is prior
to
Adams. He's the current one who has raised it 9% on those same New Yorkers, pushing them out of their homes. City-run grocery stores, I've proposed a pilot program of 1 store in each borough. These are 5 stores in total. The total cost of this is $60 million. This is less than half the cost of what the city is already set to spend on a subsidy program for corporate supermarkets that has no guarantee of cheaper prices or collective bargaining agreements or even accepting SNAP or WIC.
So you're not looking at some like Soviet Union grocery stores on every...
What? What sort of fucking question even is that, bro? What sort of question even is that? What are we talking about?
Corner that are going to be run by the government.
No, what I'm looking at is how to solve the very clear twin crises of affordability when you go to the grocery store and food deserts, which disproportionately impact Black and brown New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs, where I've heard directly from New Yorkers who say, why is it that I can find 6 fast food restaurants in a 5-block radius, but I can't find a place to buy groceries?
But, I know why. It's because this fucking government wants our Black and brown population. They want the low-income population. They want the poverty-stricken people to be unhealthy. That's why you can always get McDonald's and KFC and Wendy's, but it's not really easy to go get some healthy groceries, right? Because if you're unhealthy, then you are sick. If you are sick, you are a slave to Big Pharma. It's a never-ending fucking loop, bro. I swear to God, it's so deep. It goes so deep, it'll make you question reality.
5 boroughs, 5 grocery stores, but that can't be the goal.
Well, I mean, the idea
is the goal you want them on every? No, but in New York things do go. There's a nail salon on every corner. There's a grocery store on almost every other corner.
I think ultimately I'm guided by outcomes. If this pilot succeeds in guaranteeing cheaper groceries, as I think it will be, then yes, it should scale up. If it doesn't succeed, then no, it shouldn't, because what New Yorkers want are results. And then it comes to making buses free and universal childcare.
Right.
These are things that cost around $700 million and let's say about $5 or $6 billion. Significant amounts of money.
Huge amounts of money.
But have to be understood in the context of a $113 billion municipal budget, a $252 billion state budget, and we put forward a plan to pay for these and more to start Trump-proofing our city through two major revenue streams. Increasing the top corporate tax rate of New York to match that of New Jersey, that raises $5 billion, and increasing income taxes on the top 1% of New Yorkers who make $1 million or more a year by 2%. Both of these things, after they come to fruition, you're
Again, he's nicer than I. You hear what he said? You hear what these fucking people are bitching and moaning about? Increasing the taxes on the 1% by 2%. The people who make $1 million a year or more, we're talking about increasing their taxes by 2%. And these motherfuckers are threatening to flee the city. They're posting AI-generated pictures of fucking like a Muslim Iranian takeover. They're losing their shit over a 2% increase for the 1%. Who gives a fuck?
Still paying less than you did before Trump.
Okay, on the city tax though, and I know that takes effect with people right now, that top rate of people of 50,000 or more. So if you're going to be adding 2% to people at $1 million, that I just did the math, right? Well, but that's going to be an increase of 51% of what they pay now. I'm not saying cry for them.
What?
I'm saying if they leave, you're not going to get that money. And when you increase someone's taxes by 51%, aren't a lot of people going to leave?
We're saying we're increasing it by 2% of what it is right now.
No, they're not going to leave. New York City is the most important city on planet Earth. New York City is the hub of humanity. No, they're not going to fucking leave, you dumb fuck.
Ultimately, I'm guided by the facts. The Fiscal Policy Institute did an analysis of the top 1% of New Yorkers and found that they leave the city at 1/4 the rate of other income categories. And when they do leave, they leave to what are called high tax states, New Jersey, California. So what it then comes down to is, why are they leaving? Is it fiscal policy or is it actually quality of life? And I've heard that time and again from wealthier New Yorkers, from all New Yorkers.
So it's talk. They're going to go to Florida and all you think is talk.
In 2021, when I came to the state assembly, we had the same fight to fund public schools, to raise taxes on billionaires and corporations. We were told millionaires would flee. And we now have more millionaires.
Okay, so the New York Times is saying
you see what you just said? Look, this guy with the Chinese lettering, he said 2% out of $1 million is $20,000. That's fucking jack shit nothing to these people. It would literally cost you more to pack your shit and move than it would to fucking take the $20,000 fucking hit. What are we talking about? That's a woman, same shit, different fucking gender.
This is trying to gather business leaders to support him, to say this is going to be bad. And Bill Ackman, billionaire hedge fund manager, of course you know of him, New Yorker, he said he agrees with you that the city's broken, okay, but he has a real problem with your economic policies. He said the ability for New York City to offer services for the poor and needy, let alone the average New Yorker, is entirely dependent on New York City being a business-friendly environment and a place where wealthy residents are willing to spend 183 days, the amount you need to be taxed, and assume the associated tax burden. Unfortunately, both have already started making arrangements for the exits. So you just think that that isn't going to add up. And by the way, that corporate tax rate that you're talking about, that's a big increase.
That's matching 7.25% going to 11.5%. And the point of it is that if it works for our regional neighbor, why can't it work for us? And with Bill Ackman, this is someone who put $500,000 into Andrew Cuomo's super PAC, someone to whom clearly money is not an issue. And ultimately, even for him, life would get better. Because when I'm looking to use this money,
and I don't know, maybe I'm alone on this, but I don't give a fuck about any billionaire's opinion when it comes to making any city better. You know, like, your opinion is completely invalid. You are disconnected from reality. You are not one of us. They not like us. They not like us. Brother, your take is probably dog shit.
Money for is to make the quality of life across the city better.
Okay, so when people say democratic socialist, right, and I'm curious what you think this means. I mean, do you like capitalism?
No, I have many critiques of capitalism. And I think ultimately the definition...
Period. Oh my God, I can't believe he fucking said it. I can't believe he fucking said it. Can you believe he said no? That is my hero. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. That is my fucking king. That is my son. That is my father. I love this man.
Definition for me of why I call myself a democratic socialist is the words of Dr. King decades ago. He said, call it democracy or call it democratic socialism. There must be a better distribution of wealth for all of God's children in this country. And that's what I'm focused on, is dignity and taking on income inequality.
Don't you mean Allah? My brother. I'm kidding.
And for too long,
Fuck, dude, when I meet him, he's going to be tight. He's going to be like, bro, you got to tone it down a little bit.
politicians have pretended that we're spectators to that crisis of affordability. We're actually actors, and we have the choice to exacerbate it, like Mayor Adams has done, or to respond to it and resolve it, like I'm planning to do.
Okay. So, for people who say that America was built on, and a lot of immigrants, and obviously you speak from an immigrant experience. I mean, you came as a young child, but you speak to a lot of people who came much more recently, that they come to America because they believe in capitalism. They believe that if they work hard and make a lot of money, that's part of the American dream. Do you think that's not part of the American dream?
Please bring up meritocracy and talk about how meritocracy is not real. The harder you work, you will not make more money. It is not about working hard. It is about being lucky and taking advantage of people.
Dream at its core is a dream for stability in one's life. And what you're saying, that you work hard enough and that you then reap the benefits, too many New Yorkers, and Americans for that matter, are working 8 hours and then still feeling like they haven't made enough money to keep living in the city they call home. And ultimately, what I'm focused on is making the city affordable for everyone, not to win an ideological argument, but to deliver on the mandate of this
So when Mayor
campaign.
Adams, you just heard him come out and he said, soup, silver spoon. He talked about manicured nails to refer to you, right? I was looking at him. You can show him to everybody.
Dude, imagine saying that he's been fed soup with a silver spoon when he grew up in fucking Uganda. Eric. He grew up in Uganda.
What do you say to him?
I understand what he's doing. He's trying to distract from his own record. His is a record where he raised rents on more than 2 million New Yorkers by 9%, and he's considering another 8% increase. His is a record of raising the water bill to the highest it's been in 13 years, supporting Con Edison when they wanted to increase New Yorkers' gas and electric bills by $65 a month. I would much rather talk about me than I would about his record if I was him. And so that's what he's going to be doing over the next few months.
Absolutely.
And we will continue to remind New Yorkers what's on the ballot. It's affordability.
All right, Assemblyman, please stay with me. Our conversation with Zohran Mamdani continues right after this. Back with Zohran Mamdani, who is poised to win the Democratic primary for New York City over Andrew Cuomo.
He's so cute.
Before we continue the conversation, I just want to play, because that's what this is, play more of Mamdani telling his story.
So to quote the words of a famous New Yorker, allow me to reintroduce myself. I was born in Kampala, Uganda, in East Africa. I was given my middle name Kwame by my father, who named me after the first prime minister of Ghana.
Now, I moved to this city when I was 7. This is the city I fell in love with, the city where I got my citizenship.
He's been in the New York Assembly for 4 years, and before that, he was an aspiring rapper under the name Mr. Cardamom.
No shot.
Listen.
No shot. Bro, no
Once you do it,
fucking shot. That's my mayor.
but it's out there. It never
there.
comes back. It's there.
Didn't think it was going to be on CNN.
It's there, and there it is. So what do you...
Wait, have you guys not heard Nani? Have you guys not heard his song? Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. Hold on. It's so fucking dumb
going to make
good.
you a countryside chicken curry.
My name is Praveen. No. Hello, everyone.
£1.5 of chicken. Stir and fry it again.
Mom?
You're living in our house now, Mom. We're not living in yours. Why do I have to keep telling you this? And then on Wednesday, you forget to pick up Nikhil from school. All of your meddling, these questions, and the TV serials, it cause you to lose sight of the fact that you are not a good nanny.
The best damn nanny that you ever done seen. Fuck top 5 nannies and fuck top
States.
I did see that missing space. Thank you for the 5. And thank you for the 2 for the other person. There's some Nani's in the chat.
This the Nani anthem, Jimmy another band song. Weight class, warp ass, and all your ransom. Got a grandson that's handsome and handsome. Spends his income on dim sum to fill time. You talking retention. Me, I'm talking expansion. Got the whole squad here, keep them at attention. And I'm not in the business of taking no tension. So, gather round now, celebrate me. I'm your boss, I'm your fucking Nani. Got a doctorate, bitch, so don't fucking try me. Don't need a nano, cause I'm living my G. Kitty my G. Run this whole city like a Ramiyati. Stay setting people up, MC of the shawty. If you see me in the streets, don't be asking Guani. Bow down for you. Hit the ground for you. Make a sign for you. Give a crown to you. Bow down for you. Hit the ground for you. Make a sign for you. Go ahead, make a rap for your nanny. It's a rap. Get the guap, spin the rack on your nanny. Spin the rack. Come through, give a dab to your nanny. If you really feeling good, spin a track for your nanny.
Fuck yes.
Make a rap for your nanny. It's a rap. Get the guap, spin the rack on your nanny. Spin the rack. Come through, give a dab to your nanny. If you really feeling good, spin a track for your nanny.
You know what's hilarious about this? Do you understand the level of fear this video would instill in the average Southern white lady? And look, this part is the most important part. If you're ever wondering why Zoran won, it's because he's relatable to New Yorkers. Every single New Yorker, no matter what fucking wealth class they're a part of, no matter what culture, no matter what nationality, we have all been piss fucking drunk and gotten a plate of halal. We've all gotten a fucking gyro. We've all gotten a fucking lamb with rice. This is New York. This is the most New York shit you've ever seen in your fucking life.
Say to people who look at your background and they wonder, they say, okay, rising star you may be, but this is the largest city in America, $112 billion budget, 8 million people, and a hell of a lot of problems.
Later, Jack.
And they say, okay, whatever the future may be, you're not ready now.
I would say that a campaign offers a glimpse of what an administration would look like. And we built a campaign the likes of which the city has not seen in a long time.
I've
We
been to
started
Italy,
with
yes.
2 full-time employees and now are managing 50,000 volunteers. At the beginning of this race, there were questions of whether we'd get 50,000 votes. And yet we had
50,000 volunteers.
50,000 volunteers who knocked on 1.5 million doors, made 2.1 million phone calls. And ultimately, it's a story of not only being able to inspire people, but absorb that inspiration and build an organization. And I think that's also the story of what it means to run a city, that you are ultimately responsible, but you're also determined by hiring the best and the brightest. And
Canada trade deal terminated? Fuck you hearing that
that's what
from?
I will be doing in City Hall. I'll be hiring those that have a clear track record of excellence, of results, that come from a wide variety of mayoral administrations, and finally bring public excellence back into the public sector.
All right, so you caught a lot of attention.
All right, so wait, somebody, we got multiple people saying Trump ended the trade deal with Canada. Where, let's see, Trump ends trade deal with Canada. Cease negotiations and impose new tariffs because of Canada's imminent new digital services tax. King Doland on Friday said the United States would terminate all trade discussions with Canada. That's so fucking stupid. Aren't you recording? I am. That is so fucking stupid. Wait, what did he say on Truth? Trump Truth. No, you can't, Danny. Let's see. We have just been informed that Canada, a very difficult country to trade with, including the fact that they have charged our farmers as much as 400% tariffs for years on dairy products, has just announced that they are putting a digital services tax on our American technology companies, which is a direct and blatant attack on our country. They are obviously copying the European Union, which has done the same thing and is currently under discussion with us. Also, based on this egregious tax, we are hereby terminating all discussions of trade with Canada, effective immediately. We will let Canada know the tariff that they will be paying to the business of the United States of America within the next 7-day period. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Meanwhile, and then here's a great, we always get a stupid fucking meme that was made in like clip art. We always get another one. All right, so yeah, dumbass fucking idiot does a dumbass fucking thing. In other breaking news, fork found in the kitchen.
Tension for confronting Tom Homan, Trump's border czar, about the deportation policies, which have a lot of impact here in New York. Here you are.
Dude, why aren't they showing the fucking video? I'll show you the fucking video of Zoran v. Tom Homan. It's fucking gas. You guys know Tom Homan, the thumb, like the guy who leads ICE, like the giant fucking Nazi. Zoran confronts Tom Homan.
How many more New Yorkers? How many more New Yorkers will you detain? How many more New Yorkers without charge? Do you believe in the First Amendment? Do you believe in the First Amendment, Tom Homan?
When we asked Tom Homan, all he had to answer for that cruelty was a smirk. Because there is no answer for taking a man from his pregnant wife who is due to deliver.
So yeah, he goes brazy. He goes brazy. Also, yeah, we are going to cover the fact that Trump is like dead ass terminating birthright citizenship. Supreme Court rules against birthright citizenship. They limit nationwide injunctions. So, by the way, by limiting nationwide injunctions, this is another necessary step that Trump needs to take in order to become the king. If you can prevent all federal judges from putting sanctions or taxes or just any sort of injunction, then that means Trump can violate federal court orders, and there is literally nothing that we can do to stop him. So, listen, I know that, like, I've been saying it for a while, and it ends up being repeated to the point where it sounds facetious, but Donald Trump is a king. Donald Trump is no longer a president. Donald Trump is a king. He disobeys Supreme Court orders, so you know what they do? Well, they hit him with an injunction. Well, now the Supreme Court limits nationwide injunctions. No more injunctions. We've impeached him twice. Doesn't do nothing. You can't get him out. If you can't get him out, he's not a president. He's a king. If you can't remove a man from office, then he's a king. He's a king. We've got a king. Bro, he's like fucking Bowser. Not that ass. He's like King Koopa. It's unreal.
Do you believe in the First Amendment, Tom Homan?
So that moment went viral, all right? Then after the primary, Homan was asked about your plan, which is on your website. You said that you would end the city's cooperation with ICE agents that has been going on under Mayor Adams. And he has...
So what do you do about it? You radicalize, and you radicalize as many people as you possibly can. I'm a fucking radical. I'm radical as fuck. And this is what I do. I spread my message. I consider this a goddamn megaphone, okay? That's what I do. I'm spreading my message, and I'm trying to radicalize the youth. I'm trying to get as many goddamn people to adopt socialism as possible. You want fucking change in this nation? We gotta stop doing the same shit over and over. Republican, Democrat, Republican, Democrat, Republican, Republican, Democrat, Republican. Like, the pendulum must swing. Fuck you. Break the clock. Fuck you. Elect a socialist. Fuck that.
Spoken out. Here's what he said.
Good luck with that. Federal law trumps him every day, every hour of every minute. We're going to be in New York City. Game on. We're coming.
Game on. He's coming. What do you say?
that I'm going to be here to stand up and fight back. And unlike the current mayor, I'm not going to be working alongside the Trump administration to build the single largest deportation force in American history. I'm going to actually represent each and every New Yorker. And that includes immigrant New Yorkers. And that means standing up for the laws of this city, like our sanctuary city policies, which have kept New Yorkers safe for decades and were defended by Republicans and Democrats alike for years until we got this mayor who fear-mongered about them so extensively.
Does that involve the NYPD?
It means that the NYPD would actually serve New Yorkers and not assist ICE in their operations. We recently saw ICE agents.
So they would not assist ICE?
Not assisting ICE, because ultimately
fuck
their
ICE.
job
You
is
know what
public
else
safety.
he should do, and he may do, but he can't say it yet. If he's mayor, you know what he can do? He could terminate all contracts with ICE. All New York City contracts with ICE, which would make ICE, when they come in, invaders. Then he could deploy the National Guard against ICE. I'd love to see those fucking overweight Proud Boys in masks try to fucking stand up to the Empire City Police. You think the fucking LA National Guard are bad, bro? The Empire City Police are fucking psychos with ARs. I love them.
And I know officers who are signing up to take on serious crimes, not to be a part of the force that is arresting a pastor who's peacefully observing the arrest of a migrant at Federal Plaza.
All right, so
that fucking video he's talking about, the pastor, oh my God, I don't know if you guys have seen it. It is absolutely horrendous. It's horrendous. I'll show you. It's actually hard to watch. Trigger warning, Nazis, and it is very difficult to watch, but here it is.
Why you're taking him?
This is a pastor filming, okay? They
Why you're taking him?
They detained hundreds of Iranians they didn't commit any crimes, but this is going to be very difficult to watch. Fair warning, trigger warning, Nazis.
Yeah.
Stay back for a few feet. You can record. Stay back a couple feet.
No, I want to know. I'm his pastor.
He has no warrants, sir. All right.
For what?
He's being arrested for immigration.
He's asylum seeker.
He's being arrested for immigration. Sounds about right.
He's following orders. He's got a warrant.
He came with CP1. Why you're doing this?
It's no longer valid anymore. That's why. Hey,
why? What?
Please.
Can I have his stuff?
No, yeah, phone. Yeah. No, he can't have it. Yeah, only my phone.
Where you're taking? Can I follow you?
No, only. Where's the phone? What are you taking?
What?
Hold on, give me just a second. Just a little.
Why you're taking him?
Nah,
Boro اشکال نه. Boro tu. Why are you doing this? 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 Why are you doing this?
You want to be arrested as well? You'll be under arrested.
Yeah, I'm U.S. citizen. Arrest me.
Don't get closer. Stay there. Stay there.
You want to know why I know these are Proud Boys and Nazis? Look at their shoes.
Yeah, I'm U.S. citizen.
Look at their shoes. Look at their shoes. These are not federal agents.
Arrest me.
Don't get closer. Stay there. Stay there. Stay back.
Let him go.
Stay there. Stay back.
She's bad.
Stay there.
Let her go.
Stay there.
Let her go.
You don't stay there, you're gonna be arrested for
She's
interference.
sick. She's sick.
You're gonna be arrested for interference.
She's sick. I'm here. She's sick.
Okay, stay there.
She's bad. Call 911. Call 911. She's bad. She has a problem. My God, you're... Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? They came from persecution. From dictatorship. I'm from Iran. I'm from Iran. You're so cruel. So cruel. Have you read the news? Have you read the news? I was in prison for my faith. They are there in Iran. They are from Iran. You know, we fled because of our faith. Can you take me with them? They need me.
No, sir.
They need me.
You can stay there and you can record, but you can't go with us, okay?
مرجان اوکی میشه. اوکی میشه مرجان جان. I know you're doing your job. I know you're doing your job, but my heart is just... Seriously, you all guys came for one person?
What is her name?
Marjan. Seriously. Only 2 people is enough. What this? Like, what's this? It's the army here.
That's security, sir.
It's the army. Like 2 people. Have you read the news? What's happening in Iran? For women?
The fact that they're not
They
calling
came
the
here for
goddamn
freedom,
ambulance for
not
this
like-
woman is making me feel so fucking disgusted, bro.
This. Shame on you. I know you're doing your job, but shame on you. Shame of this government.
Of course I'm reading what you're saying, brother. Your messages are all I can fucking see.
About how you didn't know if you'd get 50,000 votes and you ended up with 50,000 volunteers. They knocked on doors. There are many in the country who might look at that and say, okay, that makes me think of somebody else. Somebody else who took on I'm trying to think of the right word to use, but somebody who expected to win and therefore didn't campaign that hard and lost. And the person who did that was Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, right? Famously also here in New York. She endorsed you early. She helped you. She just spoke to Manu Raju, our Manu Raju, a few moments ago. She said the Democratic Party needs to pay attention to your success right now. Here's what she just told him.
We have a choice to listen to that message that people are sending us or not. This isn't just about Mr. Mamdani as an individual. This is about the message that the people of New York City are trying to send to our party.
And that message from New York, hi, how are you, is fuck the establishment. I don't want more of the same. I don't want Kamala Harris. I don't want Tim Walz. I don't want Chuck Schumer. I don't want Nancy Pelosi. I don't want Hakeem Jeffries. You know who I want? Zohran motherfucking Mamdani. M-A-M-D-A-N-I. You better learn to say it, bitch. I want AOC. I want Bernie. I want Xi Jinping. 我们一起走历史长城，哭着来，糟糕老主哟。I'm sorry about that. Let's finish up this interview.
So there's now talk, that your victory puts her in a whole new light, right? It puts her and Bernie Sanders, not that they were seen as fringe, but they were seen as a wing of the party. And that instead of being a wing, that becomes more of the center, and that you are part of that. Do you see it that way? And do you see those who say, look, your victory propels her to a presidential run in 2028?
She's been an inspiration, and it's been an honor to be represented by her as an assembly member in Astoria for many years. And I think about a senior who works at a child care center that I met in Sunnyside, Queens, who told me that I'm not a progressive, but I realized when I looked at Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Bernie Sanders, they were the only ones who were willing to fight for me. Yeah. And that's what so many New Yorkers and Americans understand, is that these are the two individuals who have been willing to take on this oligarchy and actually stand up for dignity.
That's the thing. Everybody's a socialist until they find out they're a socialist. Do you see what I'm saying? Everybody is a socialist until they find out that what they're advocating for is socialism. And then the brainworm that has been seeping into you through American propaganda from the time you were a fucking 5-year-old boy, and they said, stand up and pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance, brother! Then it seeps in, you go, wait a minute, socialism bad, socialism, communism, Stalin, Stalin, China, Mao, communism, don't like China, don't like Russia, don't like Cuba. Like, what are we doing?
For Americans.
Before you go, one last thing. Bill Ackman, I just mentioned him as right, he's the billionaire hedge fund manager, but he's not alone. There are a lot like him, whether it's Ken Griffin or CEOs of big banks. Would you meet with them?
I'll meet with anyone. I will meet with them, and I'll explain why I believe in the necessity of raising the top corporate tax rate. And I'd also tell Bill Ackman that I firmly disagree with his attempt to dismantle diversity, equity, and inclusion across the country, because it's not only against the morals of so many, it's also against the actual bottom line for so many businesses. And as a businessman, he should understand that.
All right. Well, Assemblyman, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
That's my fucking king. That's my king! Anyway, we got more to cover. like fucking birthright citizenship. All right, so listen, if you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, thank you very much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. If you're watching this live, stay. We're going to keep on going. One last thing, click that video over there. It's a banger, and I know bangers.